like what Dave was just saying, the biggest problem we're seeing is tension. I would say incorrect or unproductive tension. So I'll do a couple of strings here. Watch me, don't worry about the target. All right, here's how we would tell you to shoot. Here's what we don't like. All right. Dave, talk me through what's going on there.
Yeah, so we're talking about correct inputs. Like, what do we want to go into the gun? Obviously, my hands, I got to grip the gun in a consistent manner, right? Wrist tension is another thing, right? Wrists need to be engaged, and so do our forearms. Problem is if we start engaging the wrong muscle groups too much, like our back and our shoulders, like what you saw with the second demonstration, called the tactical turtle, all that tension's just binding up. That's not a good thing. Most of you guys look like you're athletic. You definitely deadlift a lot, right? When I do a deadlift, do I want to really engage my lower back throughout the entire cycle of the pull?
Yeah.
I mean, like, do I want to overarch my back? Right? No, I want to engage my hips.
With a
right?
twisting,
Yeah.
tension motion.
Like, that's not like, when I do a set, you set up for a lift, for instance, right? You want to engage certain specific muscle groups so you don't end up hurting yourself. You're maximizing your potential on that lift, same thing. That applies directly to shooting, right? You want to engage the correct muscle groups. Now, granted, we're not picking up 500 pounds and moving it, but we're trying to manage a weapon system that weighs, 2, 3, 4 pounds total, depending with what you're running, right? So the correct inputs, groups of muscles that we're using, like, we want to use this and we want to use them consistently. If we start, using some of the larger ones, the ones we really don't need or shouldn't rely on, like back and shoulders, and start rolling them forward, that tension is just going to bind. That's what's going to translate. You're going to see that on target. Who had a bunch of low stuff, right? There's decent amount of like pushing low on the gun. Who saw like their dot not returning specifically to the white paster? You saw it usually shoot low or it shoots somewhere else. That's generally the product of tension right there, right? I'm not engaging the correct muscle groups, therefore I'm not relaxed as I'm doing this. The case result is the gun doesn't return to what it is. So while you're out here today, it's figuring out what you need to engage and what you don't. And then what you're going to do is you're going to apply that over time, right? You're going to get the tools for today's class so that you can improve your performance. In 2 days, you don't get tremendously better. But over a month, 2 months, 3 months, if you put in the correct work and you pay attention to what you're doing, then you're going to be able to fix those problems over time.
Can too much grip pressure after the duration over time cause your other muscles to tense up, either from fatigue or
Yes.
just a side effect?
100%.
Yeah, so too much, that's the question. You hear that? Like, these things are all sympathetic, and that's kind of half the problem with what Dave's talking about. I just say to people, hold the gun with your hands. Don't hold it with your back. Don't hold it with your pecs. Like, that's not helping you, because, like, yeah, as soon as you engage a muscle, like, it's difficult to just do that and not have some other effect that you don't want. So I can always do less more consistently than I can do something. Like, I'm very good at being lazy.
One of the things that can kind of help you out is if you do start to, that tension starts to bind, is keeping your shoulders pinned down. Because like generally how you're standing right now, or if you were setting up for a shoulder press, something like or a pull-up, right? We want to keep our lats or shoulders pinned down. That's generally how we want to shoot. As that tension binds though, we start getting into that whole turtle position, that tension creeps up. Something that you have to actually tie your mind to what's actually happening, and just pay attention to is like, yep, keep those shoulders down. That way the gun, everything kind of stays symmetrical, relaxed, the correct inputs are engaged. Does that make sense? So think of like pinning your shoulders down. Sometimes that helps guys as that tension starts to creep in and cause them to do the tactical turtle.
And then the other thing we should talk about, and this is related, a lot of you guys that are really tense, is grip pressure. Right? So what we want is that no matter what gun it is, you stay connected to it. Right? That means, well, I'm going to shoot. I'll shoot a few into the side here. I want you to watch how the gun reciprocates in recoil. Right? Just, again, watch the gun. Everybody can see it. Shoot the sideburn. Here we go. What do you see there?
Trigger guard coming off your hand.
Yeah, so it's just like when I started shooting, you saw some pairs and you're like, yeah, okay, it looks normal. Right? And then you saw a separation. Of course, like, what we don't want is that trigger guard separating off my hand. That's where I'm like, I am no longer connected to the gun. Another way to think about it is like that connection needs to be stable and unchanging. So it's like the pressure's set, and again, nothing changes. Now, then the question becomes like, well, how hard do I have to hold this gun? Like, so, again, the way I'll think about it is like I have to hold hard enough with my dominant hand so the gun does not move around. It does not move around inside of my hand. Like, I never feel the frame shift around. With this gun, how hard do you think I have to hold? Yeah, it's like, it's got freaking like cheese grater grips on it, and it weighs like 3 pounds. Like, it's not inclined to move around, right? So in a sense, I'm trying to hold the gun as loose as I can with my dominant hand. Most people are gonna, like especially adult males, they're gonna over grip the gun with their dominant hand and try to make it do everything with their hand. Whereas again, like it's just, as soon as it's not moving in my hand, gripping it harder will not help me. It does nothing. Nothing. Once it's connected, gripping harder just makes it more difficult. As I clamp these fingers, it's more difficult to move this one quickly and independently. So like in a sense, you can see why I'd say I'm holding it as loose as I can. Now with my support hand, I'm going to connect to the frame of the gun. And then again, once I'm connected to it, it does nothing. Like it does not productive to grip it any harder. There's a few of you guys that are almost like this, like trying to hyperextend your arms, and then you can see I'm shaking with how much force I'm putting onto the gun. You just have to understand, like, it does not help you. It does nothing, right? We're not trying to fight with the gun to get it to do anything. Again, just maintaining a connection to it and looking where I want it to come back to. Should we try this single shot thing again? Yeah. Yes, sir.
Your criticism to me was I wasn't getting my sight back.
Yes, I was critical of you for that.
What's the correction for that?
So that's a good question, and it's having, I would say it's having a desire in your head to return the gun right away.
So aggressive visually.
Yeah, no, you're not like, oh, focus on the white spot. That's not really how it works psychologically. No, fuck that spot. Like I'm serious. Like I'm trying to lay hate on that spot, as aggressive as I can. So come on the side if you would, Miss Gazelle. Let me watch the gun here, and this is a great example of what I'm talking about. You just watch the way the gun's reciprocating. That's how it looked with you. Was it bad? It wasn't bad. It's just not what we're trying to do. Now when I look at that spot, I'm like, no, fuck that spot. I want it to come back right now. You can see the return. Now I'm actually returning the gun fast enough that I could shoot as fast as I can pull the trigger. So it's not just that we don't want the sight to smoothly come right back to that spot. I want it back there right now, instantly. And you will push the gun, put in too much input, and the dot will slash down low, and then you'll be like, oh, damn it. You may take a little bit to get it, but like, that's where we want to go. Shooting as fast as we can pull the trigger, laying hate on the white sticker. All right, let's give it a try, guys.